everybody. Wait a minute. Okay. I'm just going to talk a minute. Well, maybe I always say that, but I haven't been on YouTube in a while, so I just wanted to share with everybody what I'm doing. It looks like kind of a mess around here. So I'm actually have a lot of decluttering to do now because I might be moving again. Well, I've been here 3 years. Then again, I might stay. Haven't decided, but that's not the important thing. Well, it is important, but sometimes in life we have choices, and then sometimes we don't, and then sometimes we do. You know, and I'm listening to the radio, and it's a great song. It's in case somebody gets mad about their song. I mean, I don't know. That's a great song, and it's the radio station is 100.3 in Dallas. So anyway, I've been doing this little decluttering program, and it's about healing too. A webinar with Angela Shelton, and she's a great thought leader about being healthy and being happy and healing from your past. Because I don't know very many people, if anybody, that had a perfect fairy tale childhood. Okay, I know I didn't, but was very happy because I had some, I had a lot of good things too, and I had a wonderful grandmother. Well, I don't know about, well, she had her moments too, but she was pretty darn good to me, and I always had a safe place to go. That was my safe place to go visit her and stay with her and her husband, you know, Tristan Frankie. And so my grandparents, and they lived about maybe 10 minutes from where I grew up. So anyway, but I just wanted to share with everybody feeling you can declutter. I mean, I'm a lot older. I'm too old to have a lot of this stuff. Maybe that's where, it's one reason why maybe I'm not where I need to be in my life, personally and professionally. Although I have been up there, sort of doing better in life. I've had a number of different jobs and careers. Of course, my favorite thing to do is acting, but usually it's just for an audition, or I've done some theater. It's fun, or when I was younger, and just kind of, expressing yourself, dancing, singing. I don't know if I can do, I feel a little better to do some dancing now. I wasn't able to before, but maybe, that's not a very good dancing song. But anyway, I thought I had torn my meniscus, or just pulled muscles, but maybe it's not too bad. Yes, I have a lot to do, and I'm not trying to embarrass myself, but maybe I am. And also, if you see this and you have great decluttering ideas, I mean, I have books on that too to add to the clutter. Like I have, in my inbox, I have. But if you have great ideas about decluttering, and probably have to get some help too to declutter and hack. That's one thing I do enjoy about moving, is you can get rid of more clutter, and then you can put everything into a box and seal it up. And then for a while, you're like living a Zen life with only what you need out, and everything else is like in boxes, or you've thrown it out like it's old clutter. You know. So yeah, I guess I could dance a little bit. But this is a radio station 100.3 in Dallas. So, I know we have to watch out for, but they're a great station, and they play a lot of good dance songs. There's another one too. Um, I really miss the disco days. That's how old I am. So, and that was really fun. Work hard, play hard. You work real hard all day, maybe late. Like when I worked in the news business, we worked 80-hour weeks, get off 9, 10 o'clock at night after working since 7 or 8 in the morning. And then you'd go out dancing at night, and that was always so fun. Back then I had cats, but now I have a dog and a cat. Dogs require a little more attention. Although my dog is still asleep right now, but yeah, I'm trying to avoid subbing right now because I get traumatized. I've been in some traumatic situations as a sub, and but life is just really challenging. We live in a challenging time, But my dad was a tough person. I don't want to go into that, but he made me like be tough and have like a strong work ethic. So when I don't have a job or I'm not working, I feel sorry for myself sometimes. Well, that's a. I guess I need to put on the light. I guess it's kind of dark outside today, but anyway, he used to talk about intestinal fortitude. That was a whole nother thing. He needed to have probably some of that himself, but but that's nobody's perfect. But yeah, so sometimes you just have to, you know, move on and carry on and get on with your life. Sometimes when I accumulate more clutter, that's when I put up the extra pounds on too. It's like, and it's always like a challenge. Like whenever I'm like losing weight, doing better than like I'm doing injury. There was a big dog running after me and my dog and cat out here, and I had to pick my dog up suddenly and to get away from him. And I think that's how I tore this out. And then I didn't think it was that bad, and then I was picking up stuff. But I don't think it's serious, so um, at all. But anyway, yeah, life is challenging. You just have to like find the beauty in every day. Um, I would love to live near the beach, I think, but even when I did that, there were like these giant seagulls that would come after us. Really kind of scary. At the time, I had an elderly dog, and when I lived out in LA, that's probably another reason I'm pitching pennies right now. But then there were times I made money out there. I was one thing I was lucky about when I first time I lived out there. You could just be an extra and work 24/7 on movie sets. Even if you didn't book your audition or get a regular role or get a regular job. Like if you were in between regular jobs and everything. But it's not like a regular thing out there right now. So, but it's coming back. Maybe I don't know where they put everything. There's so much. Everything's so crowded out there. But other cities are getting like that too now. So, um, as far as parking and people taking up all the sidewalks and everything. So, but that's all. I just wanted to say hi, and maybe this isn't very fun for you, but I just thought I hadn't been on YouTube in a while, and I thought maybe I should just say hi to everybody. So, and I'm just like, I guess my leg is a little better. Maybe if I take some aspirin, hopefully it's okay. And I guess my cat wants back in, and I've got to go get him some special food. And but yeah, I just have a lot to do. I'm kind of overwhelmed right now. I have like so much to do, and and uh, and I need to get a new job, but I'm kind of like trying to decide if I want to move or not. I don't want to have like a big commute going, but you deal with that later. Sometimes um, deal with that later or get a remote job. Those are always. I've had one of those where I was literally chained. They sent me like this big computer. I did that for several months, and then I had to ship it back later. But I was literally plugged into the wall. I felt like a dog on a leash because I was like plugged into the wall, and I couldn't leave to go to the bathroom or get coffee or anything. It's like if you were gone for more than 30 seconds, you got really written up, and it was really kind of scary. It was heavy customer service for insurance, but and there were all these matrices or matrices. You had to log in and out of like it was like felt like logging in and out of NASA or something on a show or like iRobot. It was like unreal. You had to, and it's a tough job. So be nice to your customer service people, and they don't always have the answers. It's some of this stuff I don't know. It's sometimes the people behind all these computer systems are controlling everything, not just on the internet, but companies and everything. But I guess the people that are really good at that type of work. Um, my mother was going to train me how to be a bookkeeper several decades ago, but I don't know. I've always been a creative person. I majored in journalism, did work for small newspapers a long time, and then I always had kind of like the acting, writing bug, mostly the acting, but some writing. And then, I did all the fun musicals and fun things growing up, dancing recitals and such. But it's fun. It's too bad it's not easier to make a living as an actor. You have to really be top of the top, best of the best, whatever. You have to um, know, get to know a lot of people. You have to do a lot of business networking, and then you have to really perfect your craft and keep working on it all the time. It's a lot of work. And I am available if somebody, I've taken so many acting classes on and off for 20 years that I can do coaching, and I have. There's a lot of apps out where they want me to sign up, and then they want a commission, or it's I have no control over it. There's so many things like that now. I almost feel like they're job scams. But if you do want some acting coaching, you can direct message me here, and we can message and then talk on the phone. I always think you need to talk on the phone with people, and hopefully meet them in person out at a Starbucks or some location, to make sure it's a real person, because we've mentioned this a bunch of times before. I had over 60 Brad Pitt imposters. Recently, I've had different ones saying they're Kevin Costner, Anthony Hopkins, Tom Hanks, the list goes on and on and on. Like, all these celeb imposters have taken over the internet, and you know, I'm sure the celebrities don't have time to find out who all these people are, but oftentimes they're just those romance scammers or catfishers. Um, Friend of mine and I were talking, maybe they're calling from call centers, like or like somebody said that some of these foreign countries, like in Nigeria or something, some of the coffee shops even have them. They get online and do all this stuff. But because a lot of them don't have a home office, but whatever. So, but anyway, that's okay. I don't know if this helped you at all, just to say hi. Um, I've got a lot to deal with. I've been through a lot in life, and I've been through a lot worse in life. Challenges. I've been growing up. I've had a lot of things to deal with in college, and dealing with some things growing up. I had some issues with my father that made life kind of challenging for me. But it does make you tough. It kind of wears you down too, though. But you get tough, and you realize that you can just talk to people. In the end, as you get older, you realize that someday you want to go to heaven or someplace. Hopefully, if you believe in that, you want to go. But you may live a long time too, and you want to have a fun life. I've had a lot of fun in life, but you have to balance it with the work. You got to have like work hard, play hard, or that's the secret in life. The most successful people I've ever met have like a great work-life balance, and they really are very good at being successful, and handling everything. It's like they're like they just know how to do everything. I guess my leg was starting to bother me, but they just know how to manage all their difficulties. And but yeah, join us in the heal yourself, declutter and heal, because if you end up not moving, like you might like stay where you're at and work it out there with your situation, your challenge, whatever. A lot of people are going through financial challenges right now. If you end up staying where you're at, you'll have to make a lot of changes. If your rent's gone way up, like mine did, then you may have to make a lot of make a lot of changes, or and then you still have to declutter. Um, so, but then if you end up moving to find a more affordable place, you might You still have to declutter because I've moved a number of times in my life. And I've moved from Dallas or Austin out to LA before, or, you know, or even within Texas or in Dallas when I was younger. It was so fun when we were young. You could just like do cash carry. That's what we always called it. Like, you didn't have much stuff when I was like in my 20s. I just had some wicker furniture, and we could just throw it all in the back of a friend's pickup truck and get some guys to help us. Maybe one of, like, if we had a boyfriend, great. If we didn't, one of our friends' boyfriends' friends, and then we would just like, I remember one time moving in Austin, that's what we did. And then we just bought them some beer, buy them a case of beer, some things. And it was kind of fun. It was so easy then. We just throw a bunch of, just pick your clothes up and throw them in the back of your car. Put all your clothes in the car and just drive down the street. Especially if you're just moving a short distance. Moving longer is harder. And if you ever do move long distance, which I have various times, make sure you have something comfortable to sleep on, because you may have to wait on your furniture for a month if you're moving a long distance. Um, when I was younger, I could sleep on two air mattresses or an air mattress, but one time I had two and they slipped out from under and I sprained my knee and my ankle. That was maybe, what was that, 5, 6 years ago? Anyway, it was a while back. Was when I lived here, but then I moved to Austin and then I moved out to LA and after that. But that was later on. But but it was so crazy. Like, you have to be really careful, especially when you're older. Young kids can sleep on the floor, and young in your 20s. I mean, I guess I'm older, but like, another thing too, do whatever you can when you're younger. If you really want to do the acting writing thing or whatever, you may have to work several other jobs with it, but you have the energy to work two or three jobs, perhaps. I know. I guess with the right diet and exercise program, I can do better with that level. I mean, I get sore. If I have an injury, it takes longer to heal. When you get older, but when you're young, you can burn the candle at both ends for a while, on and off, and it's not quite as challenging as when you get older. So that would be my advice. And if you're going through issues and and wonder why you don't have the right job or right career or the right relationship, maybe it's something to do with your past, your childhood trauma, work on it now while you're young, because it's more challenging as you get older. I did work on mine some when I was younger. Then, of course, I was, didn't take a break and go out partying or work. I threw myself into my work a lot. Unfortunately, it was all lower paying jobs, unfortunately, but I never really had a high paying job. Well, lower jobs, like even when I was in the news business, it was like women. I mean, I made half of what the next editor made at one newspaper. You know, that was just the way it was. And, I was even told, oh, well, you should be so lucky to have a job like that, because at the time, he said, oh, you're one of the only women managing editors in Texas. And I'm like, oh, really? And so that would be an excuse for them to pay you pennies on the dollar. Um, Same thing goes, of course, if you're in a lot of fields, it's like that, where you might get paid a lot less as a woman, but you have to kind of negotiate for yourself and try to get better pay. But a lot of creative, fun jobs, media, entertainment, they don't pay a lot. And you're told, even when I was like strictly commission and insurance, and then for a long time I built up a book of business with a prominent company that was a captive agent. So when I went independent, I had to leave that. The quotas kept getting higher and higher. It was not sustainable to stay. It was a lot of pressure, and who could make that, and then they get to keep your book of business. But I wasn't going to mention any names of companies or anything. So, but that happens, and but it's like, really, they would tell me, oh, finally, after pleading with several managers, they finally gave me a little book of business to call from. You got like a small commission, but it gave you a larger base to call from that were former customers or current customers instead of like always having to buy leads or go out and network to friends and family and all that and just stop people on the street. I mean, when I was a strictly commission at this one company for insurance, I mean, we could sell home and auto. That was easier to sell. It was all commission. But the life insurance was like constantly a challenge. You'd have to like where's your life at? And you get in trouble and you know can't go blank this week. And that's what this one manager would say. And I said, what do you mean? I said, what do you mean? He meant, no life policies. And they'd say, you're better off to work at the fast food place to work here with your commissions, blah, blah, blah. Well, now the fast food places actually are getting paid pretty good. That might be another incentive to move because in Texas, the minimum wage is very low. It's still pennies on the dollar what it would be out in California. But then it's very competitive to get those jobs. There's so many people out there, and here too now, though, any big city. But back to the other, yeah, so he would say that. And then you were constantly everywhere you went. It's like you go to a party or a club or, everywhere you go, it's like you're looking for your next customer. And it's a lot of stress, um, you know, it's like Woody Allen talked about it in that one movie where, if you want to clear a room, just tell somebody you sell life insurance. So, but it was one nice thing was we were on a commission, which was tough, but the the, the little light at the end of the tunnel was that you had a very flexible schedule, and that's when I helped my mom fight cancer and dealt with a lot of other things. But it was like you get used to that lifestyle. And at that time, I was like on a regular schedule with that. It's a lot like being an actor, like as far as if you don't work, you don't eat. In other words, if you go on auditions, you have to network to find the auditions, try to find an agent or network for agents and try to get to know casting people. And regardless of where you live, you know, and and then you have to actually get the audition. You have to do a great job, self tape it. You have to be, which I have. I have some of this self taping stuff. I have, I have another one up and all the, all the self taping stuff. You almost have to like be the sound person, the lighting, camera, action. You have to be like hair and makeup, wardrobe. Yeah, because I mean, years ago I did tons of extra work in LA. It was really fun until it wasn't. I mean, but I mean, then you just take a break. I mean, if you were literally working extra work every day, um, it was tons of fun though. I mean, I'll be honest, but some sets were tough, and I was in my 40s then, so. But it was fun though. I mean, um, it could be, but some sets were kind of brutal and tough, and but at the end of the day, I mean, it's it kind of made you. I always had jobs where you just had to work like a maniac every 2 seconds, and your boss would come, or just if you worked out of your apartment, like on a commission, of insurance, or something else, you were like you knew that the bills and everything. It's just traumatic. Whereas with extra work, you knew that you were going to get paid regardless. And it's not like in a school where some crazy kid can just come out from nowhere, or you might have a lockdown or some kind of scary situation. When I was in this one situation at a school, they had a SWAT team and all this stuff. I mean, it was very traumatic. But like as an extra, usually, they have really good security on the sets. It's like you just, you're going to get paid and you just do your thing, and you just do what they say. It's so easy what you have to do. The hardest part for me was to not talk. You can't say, but I would be quiet. Somebody pays me not to say anything. Say it on the internet. That was like scary now, but um, no. Anyway, so well, that's all. But it's life can be fun and it can be challenging and it can be life is short. And so at the end of the day, as I get older, find time to do what you want to do and what you wanted to set out to accomplish in life, because it goes really, really fast. My grandmother said she lived to be 90, almost one day short of 99 in the hospital. She said she just remembered she had flashes of when she was in the third grade, and life just goes so fast. And but it's true. The older you get, and knowing that, though, if I take maybe good care of myself or better care of myself, like with diet and exercise and proper eating, and reduce my stress level, maybe to get a more affordable situation for myself, or to get better work, to think more of myself, to maybe have better work. Sometimes it's about self-esteem, believing that you are worth it. I know I have a high IQ, and it's 140 or 150 something. It's pretty high, but you know, but it's a creative intelligence though, so it's a little bit um, all over the map. Sometimes I have to make sure I, you know, kind of gauge it out and organize my life better. So, but anyway, that's all. I just wanted to say hi. I really am busy. I'm going on some interviews, and trying to decide or if I'm going to work on my own more again, or what I'm doing. I am available for the acting coaching though, if you want to, go on Zoom and all that, or meet me someplace for that. If you're local, or, like I said, I might be moving, but I may not move very far either. I might just move in the area, or not too far and stay in Texas. I'm not sure yet. I've looked at Oklahoma City. They've given some filming up there. Um, Probably not back to LA yet. It's too pricey. Not unless I find roommates, or meet some really nice boyfriend or somebody to help me. I've always been very independent and done my own thing though. I mean, I've always dated, but I've always been more independent. But it depends on the situation. Um, to move out there. I mean, the rents keep going up more here, and I notice some rents are going down there, but you have to make sure you have enough work. Life is just really challenging right now. I think Arizona and New Mexico look like nice places to live too, parts of it. I love all the scenery between Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California. Whenever I've moved back and forth, that was one of my favorite things about moving, was seeing all the scenery. Whether you go the I-10 or on the I-40 was also pretty. And the I-40 is, unfortunately, a lot of those Route 66 places have gone out of business, but there's still a lot. But you can watch a lot of them on YouTube. There's a lot of neat channels that show driving through there. The scenery is just so beautiful, the mountains and the canyons. And then, of course, I love the beach of California. They have a lot of great videos of up and down the Pacific Coast Highway, but Texas has some nice beaches too. And of course, the East Coast beaches are nice. And life is just so short. Like my grandmother said, it just goes so fast, but you get so caught up in life, for me, just trying to survive, in survival mode, just trying to stay afloat, make my bills, that it's hard to find time to find love, or find, you know, simple happiness or fun. You can find fun though, and you can find humor in your life no matter what. But it's challenging. Life is challenging. But it's what you make it. That's what that artist friend of mine says, Kim Overholt. She has a YouTube channel too. In fact, I've got a sketch pad. I've started sketching stuff now more, although I haven't lately. But it is relaxing. And I can draw some things. I'm pretty good at drawing animals or scenery. I'm not the best on art. I mean, I think it's because you have to be patient and sit still a lot. So, but writing and art. Those are all good things to do as you get older too. But I love the art where they do like the standing murals. I think she does some of that, but I've seen artists here. I've gone to art shows and throw all this, just start throwing paint up on the walls and paint the walls, and looks really kind of cool. They used to have an art walk here in Dallas. I don't know if they still have it. I think they do. But I've been to some of those here, and then Austin has them in LA too. But those are fun too. But anyway, it's I guess it's kind of the weather looks a little bit. I guess I need to go get some more things done now. But I just wanted to say hi to everybody and hang in there, people. It's going to be a bumpy ride, as they say, the expression. But there's a lot going on in the world. But if you're a good person, don't worry about it. I mean, you're just if you're good, you know in your heart that you're a good person. And if you're doing the best you can, that's all you can do. It's just that we live in a time where we may have to, seek out different different choices, and we kind of get locked into a pattern of doing things, and we may have to step outside the box. A lot of older people are having to go back to work or get more work, or you know, or lower their living situation, make it more affordable. That's a big thing too. Maybe get roommates. Lots of stuff is going on. But yes, I guess we'll try not to worry about too much about what's going on. The people I know, when I was in the news business, one of my editors used to say, "He who has the gold makes the rules," and that's true. And and when you're in the news business, we would follow, you know, the news of what people were doing, and like we were not really newsmakers, we were just news takers. They would just take, like taking shorthand on the news. Back then, though, we really just, for the most part, we just covered the news. We just covered what we knew. We would get people to quote certain things, put them in quotes, and as far as we knew, this was what was going on. Nowadays, there's so much personal opinion and editorializing, and it's not on an editorial page or anything. So it's and people just sort of trying to brainwash or gaslight people, or just snowball people into believing and being such bullies about it. I mean, it's like, let people think, but they're maybe they're being paid. I don't know. I know I'm not. Nobody's paying me anything right now. I've got to be. I've got to get I would love to get a great acting job. It's hard when you're an older woman. They have to find a character. I'm like a grandmother, judge. I've actually, I'm on all my profiles, acting profiles, and everything, and I have some agents. But yeah, of course, I don't even have hair and makeup done today. But I can get my hair cut or whatever they need to do. I can drop weight, or whatever they want me to do. One of my favorite actors, it was John Candy, and so sometimes I think I could have played like his little sister. I mean, back in those days when he was in his heyday, I was not overweight at all. I was very thin, actually. Well, no, I was pretty slim though, and then I put on some weight as I got older. But I'm getting it off now, though. With the economy, who can afford to eat much? I guess that would be a good point. I try to think of the upside of everything. And the way the world is right now, I don't have a lot of money or any extra money for food or anything. I have to make sure I feed my pets first. And then, but he was so funny, John Candy. I just love him and Uncle Buck and all those movies. And I like kind of doing that kind of humor. I like to do my own kind of humor too, but he was just so great. But when they played that music and he's walking down the hall of that school, that just cracks me up, because I've been a substitute teacher a lot too. And but he was just marvelous. Or that one where he was in that movie with Steve Martin. He really held his own with Steve Martin, who was, of course, a great, renowned com- comedian and actor, and John Candy and Steve Martin just made a great team in that movie. It was just hysterical. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And there's been so many great movies of his. Um, I'm trying to think. Adventures in Babysitting. No, that was a different. Maybe I have to go see. I have to go see all his movies, but I've seen them all. But I'm a fan of so many things, so many movies and actors and actresses, and but yeah, take the time out to do things make that are fun for you, and even if you're not making money at it, don't worry about it. I mean, but you have to make sure you make money nowadays, no matter what your situation, because life is so expensive, scary, scary, scary expensive, and some of the people moving here are going to be very competitive about work, and maybe we're too complacent. We are. I mean, even if we're but you have to stay calm though. You can't just work out of a crisis management, which I have, but I took some GABA supplements, which are good. Angela Shelton recommended those. I just found some at the grocery store, but they help. Um, there's certain magnesium and zinc and certain kinds of supplements will help you with your stress. B vitamins, um, but yeah, next time we'll dance more. My leg is still kind of sore, but that's a great song to dance to. Maybe we can go out dancing. Yeah, it's still kind of. I guess I'm feeling better, but it still really hurts a lot. Yeah, it's still pretty sore, but you have to kind of move around some. I know that one time when I sprained my knee and ankle, I was in the middle of moving, and you have to get up and exercise it some. Anyway, so I guess over and out for today. I've obviously kind of got me into um, between a rock and a hard place right now. So literally with all this stuff, and uh, if things get better, though, we make it. We can make things get better, right? But with God's help, we need to pray, and I need to pray more too. But that's up to you. That's personal, for you, whatever works for you. Okay, guys, we'll talk to you later. Thank you so much. Have a great day, week. Okay.